Mausina Pereira has it head of the key. Yuki drives inside. The layup is good.
You ever see a 5'8" guy make Ja Morant's jaw drop? That's exactly what Yuki Kawamura did. This dude's out here looking like Magic Johnson, but in a fun-sized package. How's he pulling off these crazy moves against guys way taller than him? I'm talking no-look passes that'll make your head spin, drives to the basket that'll leave you wondering if he's got rocket fuel in his shoes. And get this, he's not just playing, he's dominating. You're gonna want to see every single mind-blowing play this little giant pulled off.
Now, like 3 of the last 4 possessions empty.
Memphis can tie or take the lead. No, Edie ties it up with a power.
Eyes up the floor. Watch this. Whoop. No look.
Picture this. A 5'8" guy walks onto a court full of giants. Everyone's looking at him like, what's this kid doing here? That's exactly what happened when Yuki Kawamura stepped onto the hardwood to face off against NBA level talent. But here's the crazy thing. This little dude wasn't just there to participate. He was there to dominate. So who is Yuki Kawamura? He's a Japanese point guard who's been turning heads and breaking ankles since he was a teenager. Growing up in Japan, Kawamura was always the shortest guy on the court, but instead of letting that hold him back, he used it as fuel to become the best player he could be. Now, let's talk about the massive challenge Kawamura faces every time he steps on the court. Imagine trying to shoot over someone who's a foot taller than you, or trying to see past a defender whose arms are longer than your entire body. That's what Kawamura deals with every single game. It's like he's playing a whole different sport than everyone else. You know what's even crazier? People told Kawamura he'd never make it. Coaches, scouts, even his own teammates doubted him. They said he was too short, too small, too weak to compete at the highest level. But Kawamura didn't listen. He just kept working, kept grinding, kept proving everyone wrong. And when I say working, I mean working. Kawamura's training methods are insane. He'd spend hours every day practicing his ball handling, working on his shot, and improving his court vision, but he didn't stop there. Kawamura knew he needed to be quicker and more agile than everyone else, so he developed a unique training regimen. He'd run with weights on his ankles, practice dribbling with a tennis ball, and even study martial arts to improve his balance and coordination. All that hard work paid off in a big way when Kawamura got his chance to play against some serious competition. There he was, this 5'8" guy from Japan, facing off against players who were way bigger, way stronger, and way more experienced than him. Everyone was waiting to see if he'd crack under the pressure. But you know what happened? Kawamura didn't just hold his own, he straight up dominated. He was zipping past defenders like they were standing still, threading passes through impossibly tight windows, and even finishing at the rim against guys who could probably dunk without jumping. And that's when it happened. Ja Morant, one of the most explosive and talented young players in the NBA, was watching from the sidelines. At first, he was probably thinking, who is this little guy? But as Kawamura kept making play after incredible play, Morant's expression changed. His eyes got wide, his jaw dropped, and he turned to his teammates like, are you seeing this? That's right. A 5'8" player from Japan left Ja Morant, one of the best athletes in the world, completely shocked. How did he do it? With a combination of lightning quick speed, incredible ball handling skills, and the kind of court vision that you just can't teach. Kawamura was making passes that Morant himself would be proud of, finishing in traffic against much bigger defenders, and controlling the entire flow of the game. You've seen Kawamura shock Ja Morant, but that's just the beginning. What if I told you this 5'8" Dynamo has moves that would make Magic Johnson do a double take? There's a reason they're calling him the Magic in miniature, and it's not just because of his height. Let's talk about Kawamura's playmaking abilities. This guy's got court vision that's out of this world. He's not just making good passes, he's making passes that shouldn't even be possible. You know those moments in a game where everyone's like, wait, how did he see that? That's Kawamura on every single play. Now imagine being 5'8" and trying to pass over or around defenders who are a foot taller than you. It's like trying to throw a ball through a forest of redwoods. But Kawamura, he makes it look easy. He's got this uncanny ability to find gaps that nobody else can see. It's like he's got X-ray vision or something. One of Kawamura's craziest assists happened in a game against a team full of NBA prospects. Picture this. Kawamura's got the ball at the top of the key, surrounded by 3 defenders. Everyone's thinking, okay, he's trapped. But then, in the blink of an eye, he whips a no-look pass between 2 defenders' legs right into the hands of his cutting teammate for an easy dunk. The crowd went nuts. Even the opposing coach had to shake his head and smile. But how does he do it? Part of it is Kawamura's incredible ball handling skills. This guy's got the ball on a string. His low center of gravity, remember, he's only 5'8", makes it almost impossible to steal the ball from him. He can change direction on a dime, leaving defenders grabbing at air. And those quick hands, they're not just for dribbling. Kawamura can fake a pass in one direction and instantly fire it somewhere else before the defense can even react. It's like he's got the basketball equivalent of a magic wand. Now, let's talk about Kawamura's signature move. This is the one that really leaves defenders spinning. He calls it the Cyclone Pass, and when you see it, you'll understand why. Kawamura will drive towards the basket, drawing multiple defenders. Just when everyone thinks he's going up for a layup, he'll suddenly spin 360 degrees. But here's the crazy part. Halfway through that spin, he'll fire off a no-look pass to a teammate on the opposite side of the court. By the time the defenders realize what's happened, it's already too late. The first time Kawamura pulled off the Cyclone Pass in a big game, the defenders literally collided with each other, trying to figure out where the ball went. It was like something out of a cartoon. The crowd went absolutely wild, and clips of the pass went viral on social media within minutes. While everyone's busy sharing those pass highlights, Kawamura's cooking up something even more impressive. Picture this, a 5'8" guard consistently outscoring players who tower over him. Sounds impossible, right? Well, Kawamura is about to show you why height ain't nothing but a number. Let's talk about Kawamura's scoring ability. This guy isn't just making fancy passes, he's putting the ball in the hoop like it's nobody's business. And he's doing it against defenders who could practically use him as an armrest. It's like watching a high school kid score on NBA players, except Kawamura is the real deal. Now imagine you're Kawamura, you're dribbling down the court, and suddenly you're face to chest with a 7-foot center. What do? Most guys would pass it off, but not Kawamura. This dude's got tricks for days. He's got this crazy high arcing floater that goes way up over those outstretched arms and drops in like it's got a parachute. It's so high, you half expect it to come down with snow on it. But that's not all. Kawamura's got this whole arsenal of creative finishes at the rim. He'll contort his body in midair, twisting and turning to avoid blocks. Sometimes it looks like he's playing Twister while everyone else is playing basketball. And get this, he's even got this reverse layup where he goes under the backboard and scoops it in from the other side. The defenders are left standing there wondering what just happened. You know what's even crazier? Kawamura's scoring efficiency is off the charts. We're talking about a guy who's shooting over 50% from the field. That's better than some centers who never take a shot outside of 3 feet. And from behind the arc, he's hitting threes at a clip that would make Steph Curry proud. It's like the shorter the player, the better the shot. But Kawamura's most impressive scoring performance? Oh man, you gotta hear this. It was in a game against a team full of D1 college prospects. Kawamura drops 40 points, 4-0. He's out there looking like Allen Iverson in his prime, crossing guys up, hitting step back jumpers, the whole 9 yards. The other team tried everything, double teams, full court press, you name it. Nothing worked. Kawamura was in the zone and nobody was stopping him. By the end of the game, the crowd was going nuts. Even the opposing fans were cheering for him. It was like watching a real-life version of Space Jam, except instead of Michael Jordan, it's this 5'8" guy from Japan schooling everybody. The coach of the other team actually came over after the game and asked Kawamura for his autograph. No joke. While Kawamura's scoring is impressive, it's not his only superpower. What if I told you he's got a secret weapon that makes him practically untouchable? It's time to see why they call him lightning in sneakers. You know how some players are fast? Well, Kawamura is on another level entirely. We're talking about a guy who moves so quick, he makes everyone else on the court look like they're stuck in mud. It's like he's got some kind of hyperdrive built into those sneakers of his. Now you might be thinking, aren't shorter players usually quicker? And you'd be right, but Kawamura takes it to a whole new extreme. This dude's not just quick, he's blazing fast. We're talking about speed that would make Olympic sprinters jealous. It's like he's got a turbo button that no one else has access to. Let me paint you a picture of just how game-changing Kawamura's speed is. There was this one play where he was defending on the perimeter. The opposing point guard, a guy who's known for his handles, tried to cross him up. Big mistake. In the blink of an eye, Kawamura had swiped the ball and was already halfway down the court for an easy layup. The other player was still trying to figure out what happened while Kawamura was already celebrating with his teammates. But it's not just about straight line speed. Kawamura's got this insane ability to change direction on a dime. It's like he's got cat-like reflexes but better. There was this one fast break where he was outnumbered 3-1. Everyone thought he was toast, but then he hit the break so hard, all 3 defenders flew right past him. Next thing you know, he's calmly laying the ball in while the other team is still trying to figure out where he went. And get this, Kawamura's speed isn't just for offense. He's a nightmare on defense too. He's got these lightning quick hands that seem to be everywhere at once. It's like trying to dribble through a tornado. One second, you think you've got a clear path to the basket. The next second, Kawamura's snatched the ball away and he's already at the other end of the court. There was this one game where Kawamura racked up 10 steals. 10! That's unheard of at any level of basketball. He was like a one-man full court press. The other team couldn't even inbound the ball without Kawamura getting his hands on it. By the fourth quarter, they looked scared to even dribble near him. But you want to hear about Kawamura's most impressive speed demon moment? Okay, picture this. It's the final seconds of a tied game. The other team's got the ball, and they're setting up for the last shot. Everyone's thinking overtime, but Kawamura had other plans. As soon as the ball leaves the shooter's hands, Kawamura's already moving. He intercepts the ball midair, lands, and takes off like a rocket. 2 dribbles. That's all it took for him to go coast to coast. He lays it in just as the buzzer sounds. Game over. The crowd goes absolutely bonkers. Even the refs looked stunned.